All right, everybody, we are back with the last run of the night, Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. So without wasting any time, I'm going to pass it over to Drinks Glue and Saber Wolf, who will be doing commentary for One Free Fitz. Take it away.
You can start, big dog.
Thanks, big dog. My name is Drinks Glue. I am joined with Saberwolf. And what do we have for the viewers tonight, Saberwolf?
Oh, we got some Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. Now, that is the randomizer for Final Fantasy VI or 3 if you grew up in the 90s. Basically, it is we take the game and we pretty much short it down, mix up the characters, mix up the espers, and you try to have a set goal, which in this case we need 6 characters and 9 espers in order to get into the KT, which is Kefka's tower, to defeat Kefka. So the line of thought of getting through the game is the same. It just kind of sped it up, got rid of all the text and scenes and everything, and boiled it down to its bare roots.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, you may be familiar with some other randomizers out there for Super Metroid or Link to the Past. Worlds Collide is just the Final Fantasy VI version of it, and in my very humble and unbiased opinion, is the best randomizer, and has the best randomizer computer out there, and we hope to show that case that for you tonight.
Yep, so tonight we got a little bit of a supermarket sweeps, I believe. So basically, the interesting thing is there's going to be no items in the chest. Everything's going to have to come from the shops or Coliseum. And apparently, and Fitz, maybe want to make sure that you got this, you're going to donate every single time you accidentally open up a chest, right? An empty one.
Yeah, every time he accidentally misremembers his empty chest flag, he's going to donate $5. So if this was me running of it, I would be broke by the end of the night.
Now, I believe the monster chests still have monsters in them. I believe they're not empty.
Yes, monsters in the boxes that are.
So those don't count.
Those don't count. They do not.
Because we do want to find that offering, that juicy offering that's hidden somewhere in the game.
Yeah, so Worlds Collide revolves around, as Saberwolf mentioned, it's a condensed version of Final Fantasy VI, if you will, and it's going to revolve around checks. Checks is a character's story event, but again, condensed, text removed, some of the screen time has been shortened, if not completely removed, and but the main thing that remains will be the boss fight. And typically, defeating the boss completes a character's check. And again, the check revolves around one of the vanilla game story events. And checks are where we find characters, espers, or high-tier items.
Yep, and we want to find 6 of those characters, 9 espers. Now, we do start with 2 characters.
Mm-hmm.
But we can get all that into that because we have the early game is a lot of hunting of loot and stuff like that. So let's get Fitz going. I think he's ready to go here. Want to count us down here?
Let's get 3, 2,
1.
Uno.
Go!
So one thing that's been shown off, you'll notice with the sprites, that is not Final Fantasy VI. That is actually Final Fantasy IV. That is one of the customizable features of Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, is you can play with the sprites. You can play with the music, the tunes, if you will, as well.
That's very true. And he's starting with, I believe, Go-Go, and I didn't see what the other one was.
If it's Edge, that's got to be Shadow, because it's going to be a ninja swap.
Oh, okay. I got my own tracker up so we can track and see where he's going. Because he just has the game feed up, I don't see his tracker.
So typically in a Worlds Collide event, you won't have these free shops like this. This is just a showcase. Most runners, when they begin, they're gonna sort out some loot, get some good stuff to use, and then sell for to buy other good stuff. But
smokes.
And this flag said everything is free in the shop. So what we're gonna see One Free Fitz do a lot of here is just visit some quick shops. If he comes across something useful, he'll buy 11 of them. If he comes across very useful, he'll buy 99 of them.
Like sleeping bags for one, and also you see he's moving a little bit faster than usual. He does have the sprint B on. Generally in the randomizer, everybody automatically gets sprint shoes as a default kind of like underlying item. So you just move twice the movement speed you would normally would if you had sprint shoes on as a relic. But he has a super speed move when you push down the B button, so you're actually moving like 4 times the amount of movement you would normally do. So he's moving a little bit faster than what we're used to.
Yeah, so some cat hoods were in the armor shop there. Cat hoods are fantastic because they'll double the amount of GP you typically get. But they do have some other benefits that will actually help in this flag set because you don't need extra GP if everything's free. But they will cut off, resist half elemental damage for almost all the elements plus some stat bonuses.
And that was what we call a free check there, where you don't have to fight a boss or anything, and that can yield a character, item, or esper. In this case, for Shadow, it could be any of those things. I don't know if free lunch is what we call it is turned on or off, which that means any of those kind of free, quick little checks that you can do will not yield any character or esper, just to make the game a little bit more difficult.
On, so
Looks like Fitz is trying to fix something in his game right now.
you will see 2 donation bars, one to save Sid, one to let Sid die. In Final Fantasy VI, the original version, you do play a little mini game when you get to the World of Ruin, where you attempt to save Sid, or if you fail, he obviously passes away. We do have a condensed version of that as well in Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, and if you have a preference of what you want Fitz to do, you can donate for that cause, and he will go to complete that objective after he unlocks final Kefka requirements. Once he finds the set number of characters and espers needed, which is 6 and 9 respectively, he will head on down to Solitary Island, the World of Ruin, and then fulfill his obligations.
Yep, so you decide what the fate is of one of the NPCs in the game, one of the kind of the more famous NPCs of all of really Final Fantasy, because a lot of Final Fantasy games has a character named Sid in it, so this is Final Fantasy VI version of that. Oh, so you just got those $5!
Oh man. Oh, Atlas armor's so nice.
Yep. So Atlas armlets increase the amount of physical damage pretty much you do when you swing a sword or something.
Yeah, it increases all physical attacks by 25% damage, but they don't stack, so you can only have one equipped, unlike their counterpart, the Earring, which will increase 25% of all magical damage, but those do stack. Atlas armlets do not.
Yeah, the Atlas armlet, in order to quote-unquote stack, you actually need something like a hyper wrist, which increases the vigor or your strength stat. Those two go hand in hand.
Ooh, nice.
Blizzard, that's magic power. That's fine. You got a little bit of throwable with Bolt Edge. That's not too bad.
Well, Blizzards are really nice to throw as well because they're based off your magic power, and then obviously you get the ice bonuses for that as well.
Yeah, actually, there's a great throwing weapon in case you want to fight something that's like, say you got a thunder sword or something, you throw it at something that's weak to lightning. It actually does quite a bit of damage. Sometimes actually more than what Bolt Edge does. 44,000 doesn't have that kind of money right now, but see if he can sell things, I guess. Can he sell things for an amount?
I believe the sell amount is 1/8, so he can. It's just
It'd take a lot of buying to sell and conversion, I guess. Well, I guess that's what the cat hoods are for.
So we found a lot of useful things so far in shops. Like White Dress is very nice because it will give you magic powers and armor, but it doesn't do a lot of defense. It's not exactly game breaking. It's just one of those things that it's cool if you come across it, but it's not going to win the game for you. And we haven't really seen anything that's super OP or an S tier quality offensive or defensive item, I'd say.
Well, a lot of those are turned off. Like for this run, no Illuminas, no breakable rods and bouncy balls and stuff like that. So those are items that really help you in the early game if you want to try to maybe take down an early dragon, like to try to get those quick levels, because you do start at level 3. And actually in our, I guess you could say, default version of this game, which we call the Ultras League, which is actually starting soon in the month. It's an 8-week long event with multiple various tiers of difficulty. There's bottom tier, which is you're new to the game, you want to play it, and there's the top tier, which is, ultra fastest runners in the world kind of game, kind of level. And on those ones, you actually start with 3 characters. So he's actually making it a little more harder for himself to only starting with 2. So
yeah, typically free shops can get really out of hand real fast with the power you can accumulate. So that's why we've taken out some of the S tier items. There still are some, but the really powerful ones. Like if you in this type of flag set, if you were to come across some fire shields, you just buy 99 fire shields, and then you break them all game, and you win the game. There's really no skill to it, so that's why you won't see those in this flag set.
Now, the levels of the monsters that you fight and stuff like that are actually based on the number of completed checks, well, not completed checks, the number of successful checks you made. So, depending on how many characters or how many espers you have, you multiply that by a modifier, which could be ×2, ×3, whatever we set it to, because this randomizer is completely customizable to how you want to do it. That's how difficulty the bosses, enemies like that you're going to be facing is. So in this case, if it is ×2, I believe, right now.
So it's the scaling is 2.5.
Okay.
So every character esper.
So 5.
Yeah, will Fitz will come rust. The monsters will go up 2.5 levels. Ooh, some more warp stones in the drill. Always nice to find. And there's a max scaling of 50. So Fitz cannot push the boss's levels past level 50 with all the characters and espers and whatnot he finds. So 50 is as high as they will go. And now that he's found warp stones, looks like he's going to do a solitary, a Triangle Island play, which is where you find Go-Go in the middle of the game. You hop on down onto this island, you let the Zone Eater suck you up, and then you
Yum.
traverse through the cave and you find Go-Go.
Yeah, but notice that he actually traveled, quote unquote, here via the World of Balance, because there is that random off chance you get the Doom Gaze check, which you can actually force it if you have a Setzer in the party. But that's so that you don't randomly fight a boss at level 3, which has ended many runs that we have seen over the years.
So, upon question, you may be asking why in Outside of Zen and the World of Balance was Fitz fighting monsters you would typically find at Magic Factory, and then fighting the Zone Eater here. Well, the bosses and monsters are shuffled, but not Zone Eater. And there's a couple other random scenarios at the top of my head. I can't remember off the top of my head. Zone Eater will always be here, so that way you can get access to the cave in case you happen to find Go-Go. So Zone Eater will not be shuffled.
And that's one munch there. We need one more here.
Yeah, Zone Eater has a 50-50 chance to cast Demi or cast Munch, and I swear the code says it's 50-50, but it's not 50-50.
It can't be 50-50. But we did find out that if you do have 1 HP and you get demied, you do die.
Yes, you can die to Zone Eater. If you start a party with
There
a
we
character, you can die to Zone Eater. There are plenty of creative ways to be wiped by Zone Eater.
Alright. So now we're in the Billy the Beast, so to speak. This is now we fight the...
Actually, we're going to fight
him.
No, we're going to fight the hardest boss in the game, which is the Bridge Trolls.
Oh, they're green. They're actually a blue today. Traditionally, they're actually green. So we call them the mean troll leprechauns as he gets knocked down right there. And that's okay. There's 2 chests down there, but of course they're going to be empty, so that doesn't help us this time around.
Yeah. Troll is 1-0 versus Fitz now, and let's see if they can make it 2-0.
Okay. Now, the first one's easy. It's the second one, which, by the way, I found out in the Pixel Remaster version, the guy on the left there, the third one, actually moves at like 1/3 of the speed of this. Oh!
Trolls are now 2-0.
Kind of like the Astros Texas, you know?
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. It's about to be 2-1. You keep it up.
Okay.
And
he's baiting. He's baiting the AI. He's like, "Go, you want to bite me over here, huh?"
So, oh, nice clutch. So the trolls have a 50-50 chance of going left or right, and so that's why they move around herky-jerky, and eventually they'll move to a spot to where you can pass them and get past the bridge. But
always save there, okay? Always. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, because he's moving 4 times faster with his beast sprint, so he can actually do that. You wouldn't normally be able to do that.
You never save there. You know what's boss to stand up. You played this game before. You got this.
Okay, so Zone Seek. Now the magics that the Esper teaches is also random. Flare, Ice 3, and Stomp. All of those are actually good.
That's a fantastic Esper.
Yes, it is. Now again, as I was saying, the spells and what abilities you give you can be also randomized. So you can randomize the pixels of your characters they have in your party, randomize the spells, randomize the abilities, randomize which character goes in which places. I mean, the entire game is pretty customizable to what you want it to be. And if you go to we have a Discord too, you can actually randomize mix in music, so you actually can change the music of the game as well.
Yeah, and you can select, as Fitz has done with his Supermarket Sweep flag set. He has the Final Fantasy 4 sprites. We'll come across a Cecil at some point. Maybe a Kane. You can customize the sprites. You can randomize the sprites if you want. There is a nice little setting called Chaos that will randomize everything within reason. To a beatable point, but it won't feel that way sometimes.
He's going to note by this one, the presenter here is not what he's looking for again, but that one does not count as an empty chest. So we're still at the $5.
So there are 11 monster in the boxes in Final Fantasy VI, and there are 3 of them you kind of want to see, or you really want to see, and there's 8 of them you don't. The 3 you really want to see are Gigantos, sometimes Pugs. You don't always want to see Pugs, and then obviously Katana Soul so you can get access to the offering.
Doggo!
Nice.
Now the dog actually scales on magic power with earrings, so you can see some ridiculous numbers if you're using like a shadow for casting spells. The counter Doggo, which is Interceptor, is its name, can do some pretty ridiculous counter damage. I mean, I've seen counter damage from Interceptor around the 6,000 damage arena. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it can get up there. It scales really fast, and it will target anything that is not flying. So if it's flying, it can stay from the Doggo.
Yeah, it'll still make the attempt, but it will miss.
All right, so I guess we're going to do a Cave on the Belt check. This is what we call a peekable check, in that what Fitz is going to be able to do is going to be able to traverse about 2/3 of the way through the cave, and he'll be able to see the reward at the end of it. If the reward is a character sprite, then it's a character. If it's a glowing stone, then it's an Esper. But if it's NPC, that's a good dog right there. I tell you
That's
what.
a good old dog right there.
But got distracted. But if it's not one of those two, it's a high tier item, so then he can know to just reset his game and go back to a save point. Save a little bit of time. He doesn't have to complete this check.
Oh, and this is actually another monster box try here, and it is the Pugs that we mentioned before. Don't have steel though.
We don't have steel, and you can still Minervas from these. Minerva is the best armor in the game, in my opinion.
Yep.
You can also drop Minervas, but they're kind of a tough fight to take down at this level.
No, but the Minerva Bustier, which I guess for Final Fantasy, it's really great seeing that the two, I guess you could say main characters in this game were females, and that was kind of really the first time. I mean, yeah, they had like some female characters in the earlier versions of Final Fantasy, like kind of 5, I guess you could say was one. A little bit, but the real lead female characters Final Fantasy was in 6 with Terra and Celeste, so, and they actually gave them the best armors, the best weapons, and everything else, so it was really great to see that.
Yeah, did you know today is actually Tara Branford's birthday?
Is her birthday? So
Yeah,
it's 1 week after Final Fantasy VI's birthday?
Yeah, according to the Ultimania guide, today is Tara Branford's birthday.
So she's a Libra?
I don't know nothing about that.
Now this can be a tough fight in a way, because Infrared can absorb. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yep.
Infrared can absorb like fire, lightning, pearl, that kind of damage. So, but there we go. Fortunately, Shadow doesn't get the reaps of that reward.
Yeah, Ifrit's a kind of a pushover boss if you have anything that can do damage to him, but if you don't, it's kind of annoying because he absorbs everything, or excuse me, he negates everything but fire, or excuse me, but ice, and absorbs fire, and then she was the same thing, but obviously with ice instead of fire. And Fitz did not prep the dog, so please turn off your stream right now, tune out, and oh, he's going back,
Oh, he's going back. Oh, he heard us. He heard us.
Oh, no.
No, the doggo's gone!
Turn off the stream. Everybody get out of here.
Donate another $5.
If you joined the Discord, if you followed him, unfollow. The stream is over. I guess we'll continue on.
Now, does he have to go to Mobliz World of Ruin to make up for that?
Oh, he better. If he does in the next 5 minutes, I'm out of here.
Uh-oh. Well, the pressure's on now.
Ooh, some circlets are
Ooh,
nice.
circlets. Those are the best caps in the game because almost every single character can use them, and they have all good buffing stats, so...
And looks like we've done Cave on the Belt. We've done Gal Manor, which is where you find Shadow in the vanilla game when you do Savin's path after the Leet River. And we've done Triangle Island. So we have 2 places we can go now. We can go to Floating Continent, which is part of Shadow's checks, or we can go to a default place that's it's a check, but it's not character specific. And looks like he's going to Mobius now to pet the dog. That's a good thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you turn the stream off, you can turn it back on.
Oh,
Now.
$2.
Oh, nice. Refollow Fitz if you unfollowed him.
He is currently facing level 10, so he's on curve right now with the scaling. So he really can go anywhere. I mean, you could go Floating Continent. I mean, it's a bit rough. Not to go on the dog punts there.
Yeah.
But he does get some early fights there with a free heal. Basically, you get 3 rewards, and you have to fight 4 bosses, essentially. You do have 3 other earlier fights before you get to that boss. But, I mean, overall, it's a really decent check and definitely should give you a character. It actually gives you 2 chances to get a character.
Yeah, the nice thing about Floating Continent is there's 3 checks built into it, and the 5 fix-it counters. The first check in Floating Continent is a guaranteed Esper character. The second part is does not have a chance to be a character, but it could still be an Esper. But it can be an Esper or an item. And then the third part of Floating Continent, which is the escape, is a guaranteed character or Esper. His only other option besides Floating Continent right now is Kefkat Narsh, which is not a character-specific check. It's an event in the game that's pretty historic, or pretty important, and you can go to the top of Narsh at any point in time, and do that with any party. The problem is your party has to be divided to accommodate the stuff in between the 2 parties. So if he has to go up there with 2 characters, he's going to have to 1v1 a boss. And if it's a tough boss, that's a sticky, that can very quickly become a sticky situation.
We're about 20 minutes almost into the run. Do we have any donos there that we have to mention?
Did you say donuts?
I said donos.
I was hoping you said donuts.
I did not say donuts. We're not talking Krispy Kremes here.
All right, so looks like we're going to Coliseum play. I believe in this flag set, anywhere from 80 to 100 items are visible in the Coliseum. You'll see a lot of question marks over some of the items. That means those rewards exist. We just don't get to see what they are. But 80 to 100 of the possible items that can be won in the Coliseum will be displayed in text.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to try to get one more, maybe a little fight here. Oh, Behemoth. Okay. 2 Behemoths. Oh, boy.
Does he know Ice 3 yet? He does not.
I don't think so. Magoo. That's a little rough. Oh, we can do doggo damage though. Oh, if you mimic. Oh, if you actually take no action and you mimic, you actually will do the dog counterattack as Go-Go. If no other actions has happened before then.
Yeah, that's nice. This should give him enough AP to learn S3 off that Esper.
Hey.
So there are slots is an interesting ability to have. There are hundreds of YouTube videos on there if you care to look at it. But with a little bit of practice, you can get it down so that you either get 7 flush or Chocobo Bop or the airship down pretty much almost all the time. Yeah, we're going to get a Coliseum play here.
Alright, so we got here Flash Behemoth suit is not horrible.
Genji armor for...
Genji armor, yeah. Offering, there it is, for white dresses.
We will get some offerings.
Yeah. But Behemoth suits could be good for, I believe Go-Go can use it naturally. One thing about the Coliseum you do have to remind everybody of is that you do not have control over your character. You're pretty much like Yeti. They're gonna do whatever they've learned or been set up to do.
Yeah, it's
Pretty easy fight.
it's highly suggested to always save before you start fighting the Coliseum because you can very easily back yourself into a fight that you can't win and you can't lose. So then you're just stuck watching two characters, throw marshmallows at each other.
Okay, Instacare is not too bad. Can muddle you though, like this.
Oh no.
Oh, Berserk. Actually, that's perfect.
Oh,
It was
beautiful.
a fly with a sniper. That's perfect. We have sniper offering now.
Yeah, we do.
Do we have any Genji gloves? So we can do double Genji glove snipers.
We could.
Oh,
that's
he's
a-
Hawkeye. Ah, well that's
think he
the
found-
Sniper Junior.
I think he found snipers, but he can't equip them.
Oh, lame. Oh, I will mention that because there's nothing in the treasure chest. We hope we don't find Locke because he's gonna be very sad being a treasure hunter.
I don't know. I think he's more of a thief.
Hmm.
All right. So as I mentioned earlier, for his next piece of progression, or really the next character, or his next mission is going to be to find the next character so he can open up the seed and start getting out and about and finding more characters. Because again, he has to find 6 characters to get to Final Kefka, and there's going to be a lot more characters than there are Espers. Almost half as many to be exact. So characters. a little
Oh,
harder to
nice.
find.
This version of the setup actually has the asterisk to tell you that you've learned the Esper.
Oh, nice.
I do like that.
Oh no!
Oh, he
no.
didn't.
He
Oh,
forgot
Go-Go
to
got left
He's gonna have
behind.
to reset.
Uh-oh.
Is he gonna stick with it? Stick with it, Fitz. If you can hear us. Oh man,
I don't know if he saved.
he did save.
Okay, wow.
I
It
would
happens, folks. It happens to the best of us.
I would have stuck it out, pretending I meant to do it on purpose.
Only if it's the Yeti. Yeti usually pilots the ship. Okay, did a little slower. Make sure we got him in there this time.
Beautiful execution on that party formation.
Woo! Now for this one, this is what's called floating continent. This is like a Shadow's last check, I guess you could say. There are 3 regular fights against enemies, and Zombo is actually perfect because these are actually undead. So you can actually use Revivifies or Phoenix Downs to automatically kill these, and it makes it for an easy fight.
Very nice.
Zombones, Black Dragons, those are the ones you want to see a lot of in the early game.
Other than the actual one of the legendary dragons, everything with that sprite for a monster, you can take out with Revivify.
Mm-hmm. And we got more of that. Power Demon is another one. Which, by the way, back in the old days where the pixels were not as clear as this, I thought the smoke above the head was the guy's head. I never saw the skull was underneath it, with the smoke breathing out of him.
I always assumed it was like a pig. I'm gonna look in real close right now.
It's actually a black skull breathing out flames out of its mouth and hovering over its head. That's what the actual sprite's supposed to be.
Man, we're not gonna get another one, but I'm gonna look at that later.
Yeah, it's like a necromancer with a skull head, and it's breathing out like smoke around it and above its head. And once again, we're gonna have a random boss fight here. This is actually gonna be back-to-back boss fights, but they will be healed between the 2 of them. We have number 28, which is not too bad.
No, number 128 is pretty tame. He does absorb ice, so our S3 is no good here.
No, we haven't learned Flare yet either, unfortunately, so we're kind of stuck with 2 slots, or maybe using that Hawkeye for weapon here damage. I don't know if Wild Wind will work.
You know what else will work? Bop.
Yep, chicka bop bop bop.
Yeah, Chocobop won't work on flying enemies, but despite, hanging off the airship in the middle of the sky, number 128 is not considered a flying enemy.
We do. for Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, we do have other quality of life additions that we made to the game. For instance, you can take away the timers for various events that might be like time limited. We slowed down the background motions, so that way the flying clouds in the background or really bad like widescreen flashes, we can turn those off. Those are options that you can do. Another thing we also can do is we can also randomize the how to get to the chainsaw chest in Zozo.
Oh yes.
So you can randomize that clock and how to get in there. And this is French vanilla ammo weapon.
Yeah, Admin Weapon is Admin Weapon can be really dangerous at higher scaling because of his abilities. He'll have access to some of the more deadly abilities, like even Ultima at higher scaling. But when you face him earlier on, since he doesn't absorb any elements, he's actually kind of a pusher. So
Drain, okay, not too bad.
at this word, in about 40 minutes from now, with scaling approaching 40, if not over, that Drain would be a Flare Star in Ultima.
Yeah, so there's various things of elemental scaling where you can take like some abilities that maybe lesser bosses might have, and you can scale them up to be like really actually more dangerous bosses to have.
Mm-hmm.
And for the reward, we have somebody. Of course, we have Final Fantasy IV. Oh, it's probably going to be... Oh, it's Mog? Mog is Fosuya?
I would have kept my life with Strago. But...
I thought it was going to be stronger, too.
So we
got
have
to move in the party.
We have a Lunarian now.
Mog and natural spear user. We did find those dragon boots before. We've been nice if we can find a dragon horn to go with that, because they are a natural jumper because of the spears for the increased damage they do on a jump, kind of like what Kane does. Which I'm going to assume Edgar is Kane.
I would assume that earlier too, but now I don't know.
Yeah, that one, Fosuya kind of threw me. Oh, Tella is going to be Strago.
Well, I would
That makes more
assume
sense.
Edgar became, but because Cecil becomes king in the after year, so maybe he's Edgar?
Cecil's probably Locke.
No, Cecil could be Terra, possibly.
That too.
'Cause
Celeste has got to be...
guess,
Cecil's going to be Locke, and Celeste is going to be Rosa.
no, I would guess Celeste is going to be Paladin Cecil, and Terra is going to be Dark Knight Cecil.
Okay.
That's what I'm predicting.
All right. I like how this turned into, like, we're going to guess what the sprites are, not even, like, where we are in the run.
Oh yeah, we're on full. So, I guess we should talk about Worlds Collide. So the forwarding continent check that I mentioned earlier, the Atmo weapon spot right here is considered check number 2 of forwarding continent. It can be a Esper or an item. It can never be a character.
Flame Meteor, that's easy.
That's gonna be really easy with the Ice 3. And then after this, we'll fight. We'll do the floating continent escape where the island starts to fall apart, and then we gotta get past the rest spot.
That's a throw-in Mog, by the way, with all of those throwables we found, the shuriken and the edges and stuff. That's very, very nice.
I would almost now with that throw visit 1 or 2 more shops just to see what else I could find that I could throw.
Yeah, especially with them being free, if you can find the ninja stars or tax stars. Whoop.
Or even just the elemental, because if it's elemental when you throw it, it's going to ignore defense and take on those elemental properties, and it makes a lot of bosses with higher resistance much easier.
Now it's 2.5 for the throwables, right? That's what the level they throw at?
What do you mean?
Like, it's equal, like, a fire edge is equal to 2.5 on a fire, like, fire 2, but, like, 2.5, I think.
Well, I don't...
If I remember correctly. It's a little bit, I want to say it's higher.
It's a little bit lower. Well, if it's multi-target fire 2, a fire scheme is going to do a little bit more, but if it's single-target fire 2, a fire 2 is going to not have the It's not going to have the multi-target penalty, so fire 2 single-target will do more. But, if I can, I'll get my phone out and get the guide up, and there are quite a few resources on the internet that will tell you the exact battle power for all the different things you can do. I may be wrong. If I am wrong and you know I'm wrong, correct me, please. in the chat, but I believe that's true. And this will be the last of the two infixed counters for as part of Phonecon, and then we will fight the Narapa spot. But again, it could be anybody or anything, and then after that, we will know if this is another character. So, one of the nice things about finding Mog here. Ooh, and I promise this is randomized, even though this is.
Is this even random? Wow.
Narapa is known more as a time sink just because she can cast Condemn 4 times, and then after that, she typically shortly dies.
But he does have Wall, so be very careful because he does have Reflect. So you can't just cast a spell at him, you have to use some sort of physical. He is weak to things like X Zone, which will automatically kill him, anyways.
So, Narapa's going to die here very shortly. But the nice thing about finding Mog is we really had one other place to go if this wasn't a character.
Yeah, we're going to go there anyways.
Yeah, we were probably going to go there anyways if there wasn't a character, but having Mog now, all of Mog's checks revolve around Narsh and World of Balance, which is where Kefket Narsh takes place, so you can climb the mountain and transition into Kefket Narsh with Mog's checks as well, very easily.
Oh, there's Strago.
Speaking of old people.
Yes, called it.
Ooh, and he has steel.
Oh, Gold Thief.
I still think we're going straight to Narsh because Strago's checks are the checks Strago opens up for a 5th tier are going to be arguably worthless and very undesirable.
Strago in general to Final Fantasy VI, and even in the randomizer, is kind of a side joke. Because he is a talented wizard with horrible magic power. So,
yep.
I mean, it's like you make this really great character with really hard-hitting abilities with like Grand Train and stuff, but he has like no magic power to actually use them with. So,
yeah, he is the Edward of Final Fantasy VI, or the Texas Rangers, if you will, of Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, you made the reference this time. I didn't.
Hey, it's 5-2, but I still believe.
I believe. Oh, sorry, that's not karaoke night.
So
that's Saturdays.
Heading on up to the treasure room is going to start the lone wolf check for Mark. We walk on this thief caught red-handed, and he runs up to the mountain and takes a victim, or kidnaps somebody. And we save them, and then we get them.
Yep. And also, this will also give us a couple of things. Like you mentioned, we got Kefkat Narsh, which would be a possible check also. And then we can also peek Yeti, because inside the window on the next screen up north from us, you'll be like could possibly be a character in the window that will tell us that that character is hiding behind the Yeti for the check. Or if the window's empty, then it tells us it's probably an esper or an item. And you actually get to peek that when you go to the totem to actually pick it up. It will shine or not be shiny, and you'll know whether or not which it is before you can even pick it up. So it's a late peekable.
Yeah, it is a very nice piece of information to know because more often than not, you're searching around looking for characters to get where you need to go in the world, and knowing that there is or isn't a character can be valuable information. And we know Kefkat Narsh is not a character because we have the imp robot sprite.
Oh, so we're going to have to do the other Mog check now.
Yeah, we either have to do Moogle Defense, which takes place at the bottom of Narsh, back in the town, or we have to go with some of Strago's checks. Ooh, Illumina.
Ooh, that's really tough choice, but he doesn't go for the Illumina. Now, he can still get it. You have to go to the World of Ruin to where you find Mog. In the World of Ruin after the world ends, and that was definitely not a good trade. That is a horrible, horrible trade. Definitely the Illumina choice would have been better there. But you can still get the Illumina. He just has to go to the World of Ruin, where you find Mog in the Moogle hideout, to get it. it takes a little bit to get there, but an Illumina is definitely worth it. It's the best sword in the game.
Yeah,
I believe it's called Lightbringer for those of you that play Pixel Remastered now.
it's the best single offensive item in the game. It's one of the best defensive items in the game. It's just fantastic all around. Really broken. That's why it's not in shops to be found in this flag set for Fitz, because if you come across it, the game's over.
Is it better than a VK? With offering? Well, I mean, VK actually needs add-ons to really make it good, and it's also situational depending on how low your health is. So yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, for a speedrunning perspective, probably not always, but probably a VK would be better off. From a just pure power standpoint and the ability to beat the game of Lumina, I would say.
Hey, nice. That was some speedrunning strats there, doing a little slip-through play around the soldiers there. When the soldier walks forward, you can walk forward at the same time, and you can actually pass each other without actually getting to the counter there. The way to remember this with the two cranes, it's Niles and Fraser. If you ever watched the Fraser TV show series, Niles on the left, Fraser on the right. F for Fraser, Fraser fire. Do not cast fire on the right. Don't cast lightning on the left.
And for our efforts here, Fitz is going to get another Esper item. Ooh, Alexander. So he's going to land. Fitz is going to land here in Arvis's house at the bottom of the mountain, which is a nice transition to the Moogle defense if he chooses to speak to Arvis.
Oh, that's another $1.
That's $10. That's an okay Esper. And ooh,
that's Rose. That is Rose. That's Rosa.
Who is Rosa going to be?
Well, it's either Celeste or Terra. I highly doubt it's. I'm pretty sure Rita is going to be a murder child there.
Rita would be. That would make sense.
Yeah. My guess is the Celeste.
Okay. I'm gonna guess it's Ala.
Who?
You never played Chrono Trigger?
I know Chrono Trigger was mixed in with the sprites here.
I'm just messing with you. It's probably gonna be.
Because you said Terra was going to be Cecil. I don't think.
Well,
here's the problem. There's more characters in Final Fantasy VI than on 4. So.
Well, that's why. I think Fitz had said that in this character or sprite palette that Yamaro is going to be the antlion from Final Fantasy IV. So it's a little. You gotta get creative when you have this many more characters.
Well, Strago is definitely probably going to be replaced here after the fight here.
So Rexel is kind of annoying because he has very high magic defense. If he throws those blizzards, he's going to pierce that magic defense and cash in on that ice vulnerability and take him down pretty fast.
Yeah, a lot of the well, Final Fantasy VI is weird that like the sprite that you see on screen isn't always what there might be weak to. He's on fire, so you would think, oh yeah, use ice on him, which is the case. But there are some in this game that like are the elemental that's around him, but that's not what they're weak to. For instance, Chad's one of them, where it looks like they're on fire, but they're actually weak to fire because they're a painting made out of paper.
Yeah.
And also, Final Fantasy VI is annoying, where like it has the most bosses, I swear to God, that are immune to like Pearl or absorb Pearl, which is holy. It is Celeste. Ha! We got somebody naturally using Illumina too, so we definitely want to go for that Illumina now.
Very nice. What was Celeste's ability?
I believe it was Capture, which is steal and hit somebody at the same time, which kind of works with the Illumina.
All right, so Celeste. Excuse me, I am joined now by Lizzie, one of my 5 dogs. So Celeste is going to open up 3 possible checks.
More doggo distractions. Are we here?
This one actually one of the few good dogs I have. So Celeste is going to open up 3 possible checks. The South Figaro prisoner, which is in the vanilla game, is where you find Celeste. Down in the shackles.
That's a free check.
Yeah, as a free check. She also opened up the Opera House. And I think Fitz had mentioned he was going to showcase part of the Opera House for us, so I think that's where he's going to go next.
Oh, is he going to do the opera?
He had mentioned he wanted to showcase some of the the niche things about Worlds Collide, and that would be one of them.
Now, as a traditional thing we do at the Worlds Collide is, and we do this sometimes with betting wars. If enough bets or not betting wars, but in donation wars, is that if enough donations are raised for a cause, the runners will forced to have to do the opera scene of Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, and us as commentators stay silent for the first one that they do. So, and we all enjoy the opera for the 4 minutes that it takes, I believe, to do it. More throwables and enhancers too. Nice.
Very nice. The problem with his B dash is you go really fast, but it makes it really hard to turn some corners.
Yeah, you gotta slow down a little bit there into turn 3. Gotta put through that chicane right there between 2 steps.
Ooh, a nice heads up play here from Fitz. It's actually a few seconds faster to go in the back way to the bottom of South Figaro and do this than it is to go the normal way.
In case you didn't see it in the chat, make sure you click on that link there to streamlabs.com/gameovercancer. Where all 100% of the donations goes to the Canadian Cancer Society as we try to game over cancer.
And remember, until Fitz gets his final Kefka requirements, goes to Kefka Tower, we still have time to donate if you want to see him murder Sid. I personally am gonna, I like to see Sid go down. He commits a bunch of war crimes. He's not a good guy, and he really doesn't deserve a redemption story that he gets. So hopefully he goes down, and if you want to see him go down as well, there's still plenty of time to donate.
So there's that World of Ruin Narsh play that we're just mentioning. Go get that Illumina. There's 2 kind of ways to get there. One is through Arvis's house, and the other one is through the back cave entrance to the left there of Narsh, which is that back way Locke went out of and Edgar and Terra went back in through. I'm not sure which one's faster.
I'm not sure either. I don't.
And with super speed going on, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, that's where you come out of. I know that.
I've studied a lot of things as far as trying to figure out what would be the fastest, but this is so situational. I don't think I've ever come back here in Worlds Collide other than just to test it, but I've never actually timed myself doing either way, so I don't know which way is faster.
Ooh, Gogo can actually equip the enhancer. That's going to be really nice. That is +9 magic power for all those spells they're going to be copying. Definitely want to switch over to the Atlas Armor. Hero Ring would be better, because the Hero Ring is actually an Atlas Armor and an earring built into one. Sometimes you want to add either an earring if you want to try to get the boost the procs, or a hyper wrist to boost the physical damage you're doing with it. Does not skill good with offering though. You do want to put an offering with Illumina. That is going to cut the damage it does though.
Yeah, offering. There are some niche items that pair well with offering, and Illumina is not one of them because you lose the auto crit that you get with by burning some MP, and you also can't proc. When you proc, that's a huge DPS bonus, and you just don't get to do that with an offering.
Rewind disabled. Okay.
Looks like he's going to do the Opera House check first. Oh, no, he's going to do the Opera House.
Is he going to do the opera? Hey, so we're going to do the opera. One of the most famous scenes from the Final Fantasy VI game. Enjoy, people.
Yeah, no flash photography, please.
Bravo!
Whoa. Amazing. Now let's go kill some monsters.
Now, by the way, I want to suggest this. If you ever want like a remix version of that, go check out Video Games Live Level 4. They have a remix version of that with an actual opera singer singing in the background in Italian. It's really, really good. You should check out that music track. And also, I think it's on YouTube as well. I think they have a video of it on YouTube. It's pretty good.
Very nice. So we are now doing one of Celeste's checks. We mentioned the opera house, but we won't be singing and performing anymore. We'll gonna scale the catwalks, make our way to where Ultros is trying to push down the 4-ton weight, and then fight a
Take it
monster.
away. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. So these are the early game rabbits and birds that you find at the beginning of the Final Fantasy VI game. So these really don't give much of anything.
Yeah, that is the Pidgey and Caterpie equivalent.
Okay, this is a little bit better. I mean, this give you some.
Not much better.
I mean, it's not much better, but at least it's something.
That is,
I believe that is
that
Kafka
is
and Narsh.
that is the Machop equivalent in Final Fantasy VI of a counter.
Nope.
And then we're back to
Crossing over to Pokemon now. we're Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IV, the Chrono Trigger, now the Pokemon. We're just hitting all the classics today.
And I got one more battle to make a Pokemon reference to. And nope, more Machops.
Oh boy. You're my choke in the stream. Hey! So we're gonna see what boss this fight will be. I believe this is Terra's last check available for her. Before we have to dive into the oh no, we still have the entire Magic facility. Which, by the way, if we did have the Magitech ability, we would actually get the unlock for the extra Magitech skills. Now, when you have Magitech ability, you only get the 3 beams and the healing force, like Briggs and Wedge had. You don't get all the abilities like Terra have, but if you do the Magitech facility and complete all 3 parts of it, you do get the all the abilities, which is the Magitech missile.
And don't forget about Xfer. Xfer is very useful as well.
Oh yes, Xfer. Now Behemoth is actually weak to Pearl, but he's only weak to Pearl on the second phase of the fight. And interesting enough, in this version of the game, both fights are in front of you. In the actual Pixel Remastered version, he actually comes up behind you. It's actually a rear fight for the second half. Oh, that's a womp. That is a lot of damage.
We are starting to see some of that scaling catch up with abilities. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
form. And the bad news for Fitz is we haven't really seen a lot of scary bosses so far. So a lot of the harder ones you don't want to see that primarily exist in the world of Road in the vanilla game are still out there.
Oh no!
Oh no, indeed.
Shout out to Netscape Plan for the raid of 2. Appreciate it.
Escape plan, party of 2. Your table is ready for you. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the bad parts of Behemoth. Senor Behemoth, as we affectionately call him.
So this part is susceptible to instant death. So that's I don't think Fitz has Doom or X-Zone or anything he can capitalize on that on.
No. Yeah, the second phase of this is actually weak to Pearl. I think Fire even does more damage to it than the first phase does, I guess. I don't know.
It doesn't do more damage, he just has less magic defense.
Now, in the Moogle's First Tournament version of this that we do, you can actually kill him with a Revivify Phoenix Down, I believe, for the second half phase. But for the base version, standardized, I guess you could say, version of this game, that is actually turned off for bosses. But yeah, like I just mentioned, the Moogle First Tournament. If you ever want to try this game out, check out the Moogle's First Seed. We have a matching video to go along with that helps you walk you through the how to play the game, basically, for the randomizer version of it, at least. Yeah, okay. I know Taco. I know it's Strontium Behemoth, but we like to call him Senor. and I believe that would be a Sabin.
That's either a Sabin. Yeah, that's gonna be a Sabin because that's Yang.
Yeah, it's Yang, and there's Sabin.
Oh, with X magic, very very topical.
Oh, not going to take it though.
I wouldn't. I'm not a big fan of 22 magic power characters.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with like Strago too. But
nice.
Sabin's amazing because Sabin actually gives us 5 different checks that we can do.
You know what else is amazing?
What is
Burning
also
House.
amazing?
Burning House. Casa del Fuego, as it's affectionately called.
He's not doing Casa del Fuego, is he?
I don't see why he wouldn't. So, Burning House is one of Strago's checks, and I mentioned earlier, all of Strago's checks are pretty much awful, except when they aren't. It's like Fitz is going to do a Burning House play. Burning House play is exactly what it sounds like. In the vanilla game, you run into this house on fire to save a child, and in Worlds Collide, you run into a house to fight a monster.
No, the child is actually not. It's not Realm. It's just like it's Realm's there, but it's actually just an NPC. And the person that comes to save you out of the house could be a character, or you go back into the inner tavern again, and you get an Esper item instead. So this could be any kind. This could be any of kind of 3 checks, 3 rewards rather.
It could be based on the coding of Worlds Collide. It is always guaranteed to be a Force Armor. We don't know that. A lot of people don't know.
Well, we saw a Force Shield earlier instead of an Illumina, so I mean that does that does track. Oh, more power demons.
The joke is that, ladies and gentlemen,
there's that sprite you were talking about.
Oh, I did. I looked into that and I saw that what you meant. I always assumed it led.
Yeah.
But the joke in that, ladies and gentlemen, is that Force Armor is one of the items you don't want to see for a dead check because it's good, but it's not very good, and you're better off getting either progression or one of the many other high tier items you could possibly get.
Okay, that's nice. My cable company is preparing for severe winter weather.
Oh, good for them.
Appreciate it.
So, good news is this is only leader. Leader is a pushover of a boss. The bad news is, and I kind of harped on a little bit earlier, is there are a lot of tough bosses still out there to be encountered. And
yeah,
the boss pool being dense of the bad ones. Statistically, we are very likely right now to run into one of those tougher bosses in a one-on-one situation when we climb Kefka's Tower.
Yeah, and that's where you don't want to see them. You really want to see the tougher bosses in the mid game, more than the late game, because the late game they're going to be basically themselves. But if you get them earlier on in the game series or in the mid game, they'll actually have their abilities, but much lower. So instead of casting Fire 3, they're casting Fire 2. So you get a little bit of easier play that way, I guess you could say, if you find them earlier in the game.
Yeah, because
Fitz right now is 6 and 5, so he actually has completed all the character necessities that they need. He actually need 4 more Espers, however.
all right, I do have breaking news.
Okay.
I just ordered, my dog Lizzie for one of my Chihuahuas, Kiwi. So I'm now joined by Kiwi and no longer Lizzie. While Kiwi is more adorable, she is the better of the 2 dogs. So just a little heads up.
My 2 are in the other room. I have the door closed and locked because I do have a 4-year-old that fortunately likes to jump in and yell and scream. So unfortunately, they all have to be kicked out right now. You got something for us there, Simply?
I sure do. We have a $25 donation from, I hope I'm saying this right, Theshwants 27.
Yep, Theshwants 27.
Oh,
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
I believe he prefers the term name Basic Brian.
That donation says, thanks onefreefitz, Saberwolf, and Drinks Glue for showcasing FF6 Worlds Collide Rando. Good luck and all hail the power of Throgo.
Yep, the Swans 27 is one of our administrators in our community, so thank you for that.
So Foombaba here. Foombaba isn't especially tough, but he does have a pretty robust HP pool.
Yeah, he's a
And
beefy boy.
And some higher defensive statistics, but as you see the power of the Lumina right there, Lumina procs will ignore magic defense and just straight up do a lot of damage to anything it doesn't absorb it.
I've not seen many elemental shields though for rewards or anything. Oh, we don't have any chests, that's why. Duh.
Oops.
So Magic Facility is actually 3 rewards and 4 bosses, similar to Floating Continent. That's a big Esper. That is a must-need Esper with also Break. That's going to be big help for Tier 1 of Kefka, and we'll explain that when we get there. Also, Golem's Grave for Tier 3 of Kefka as the Esper itself being summoned.
Yeah, Tier 3 of Final Kefka has a death counter called Calmness, and what Calmness is an instant death, single target physical attack that can be cast up to twice. So you want anything that will negate physical attacks, and then what Golem does as a cast is it puts a shield in front of your characters equal to the caster's current HP level, and it will essentially block any attacks until that HP level is broken on each and every character you have in your party out. And not to sound like a broken record, but this is another easy boss, and yeah, that boss pool is getting just a little bit denser every time with the tougher bosses out there. Ooh, Carbuncle.
Ooh, there we go. We're on the Esper train now. We need 2 more Espers to get that KT unlock. Merton! But we don't really have any protection from it, so...
We do not, unfortunately.
And we are actually going to move on to part 3. And there's Sid right there. There's still limited time left to try to save or kill that one NPC. See there right on the screen next to Celeste. Or
Thanks.
Rosa, I guess you could say.
He's still alive for now, but we'll take care of that.
Again, those incentives are there at gameovercancer.ca/marathon/incentives. Click on that link and put your bids in. So you can directly affect this actual run. Oh gosh, ninjas.
No. So this is the type of counter you run from because it can get out of hand very fast because this formation will start throwing very things at you to the face, and they do it very fast in succession.
Yeah, these are actually located in Gogo's check there, actually, in the row game. I just found out. Ooh, a Thunder Rod steel. That's actually pretty good.
That's great heads-up play. That
And an Ice Rod steel. Wow.
That is phenomenal heads-up play that you can steal rods from these guys.
Well, you only get 2 of them, I guess. But still, those breakable rods do, I believe they sidestep the magic defense, right?
They do. They will ignore magic defense, and that is why they are so juicy and not in the shops in this flag set.
Juicy and flavorful. We like that.
And this will be the last fixed encounter before we fight not one but two bosses. We will fight the vanilla number 128 spot at the end of this minecart. And then in the escape part of the Magitech factory, we'll fight a boss on the airship where you would typically fight the two cranes. And again, as I mentioned, there are some very dangerous bosses out there. There's a Magimaster, all three of the statue bosses, Guardian,
Yeah.
and Doomgaze to the left.
Yeah, Goddess is one of the ones you do not want to see in that one because that forces Goddess to be a same side fight. Goddess is a little bit balanced in the fact that, oh, okay, well, this is one of them we just mentioned before. This is Doomgaze. Here comes the math check, and we all pass it. So we're moving on. There's another beefy boy.
Yeah, so Doomgaze has pretty high magic defense, not the highest in the game, but relatively high. He is weak to fire and weak to pearl, and he absorbs ice, but the most dangerous part of Doomgaze, we passed that test, is he always helps with level 5 Doom. If your character's level is divisible by the number 5, they're going to eat it to the face and die.
Yes, Doomgaze has like 3 different phases. One is the opening one where he casts his level 5 Doom on everybody. Then there's a second phase where he casts his Wild Wind or Whirlwind, however you want to say it, and does physical attacks to try to take out the party. And his other phase is he just straight up casts Doom, like right here, just to straight up kill you.
Yep. He will single target Doom. He has a lot of nasty ice attacks. And at this point of the game, I don't have access to a Fitz's tracker, but we have quite a bit of progression. So the bosses are going to be approaching level 40 if they're not already there. And that's when they really start opening up with the nastier abilities in the game.
You guys have a second for a couple donos?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, please go
I'll do
ahead.
math.
math.
So we have a $10 donation from Drinks Glue. I wonder who
wow.
that may be.
Oh, who the heck is
Asking,
that?
hey Simply Azuma, which is myself, what is your favorite type of cheesecake? And to that, I have to say, do you got any grapes? No. Cherry
no.
cheesecake is pretty solid. And a second
know.
donation from Drinks Glue saying, hey Saberwolf, what is the score of the Astros game?
Oh, wow.
Like I said, it's hockey season now. I don't
It's for the
care.
man.
My team stopped playing around week 3 or 4. Okay, we just got KT Skip, I believe.
I believe we did.
Yeah.
Let's look at the score myself then.
Yeah, I'm busy doing this commentary right here, and ooh, who the heck is that?
All right.
Lock as Sid, and he has Magitech at the end of Magitech.
Ooh, but
How perfect can that be?
I don't think you get the Magitech reward though in this flag set.
Yes, you do. He has it turned on. He had it in the flags before we started.
Very nice.
Didn't pick him up though.
Well, he doesn't get MTech missile until you actually finish this fight.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you can still get the levels though, and this was, I guess, not French vanilla. I guess vanilla bean, sky ship in the sky. I guess I don't know.
Let's see if he does put lock in. Maybe.
There's so many levels on Shadow now. It's really hard, or Go-Go. It's really hard to, kind of put him in. I guess.
I didn't see the text pop up that he unlocked all the Magitech, so I'm not sure if it's on or not.
Oh, maybe not. So that was a reward number 14. Now, even though he has more characters, what he needs to actually unlock Kefka, those checks still count towards leveling scaling.
Yes.
So with a 14 total, that is 28, and half of that is 7, so it's 35. So he's at level 35 for scaling right now. I don't know what level he's at. He's pretty close to that, though. Venturing into the World of Ruin here, this is actually a dragon and Tritoch, which is kind of funny enough that both open world checks are Kefka, Narsh, and Tritoch, which is also at the top of Narsh. One's in the World of Balance, one's in the World of Ruin. But these two checks are available no matter what characters you have available to you. And we got Stormy.
So when you defeat a dragon in Worlds Collide, you are awarded with 1, a buttload of experience, 2, a buttload of ability points, and then 3, a high tier item for your efforts, along with whatever drop the game has set, so a lot of the dragons drop pretty useful items in Final Fantasy VI. So if you have vanilla drops enabled, you typically get something else worthwhile along with a high tier item.
Yeah, really 2 high tier items.
Yeah, if you fight the right dragon, you can get a force shield, a force armor, or a magus rod, which are all very useful. Some of them less as much because a scimitar is highly situational. And if you're trying to think on a dragon, you probably don't need a scimitar.
Yeah, Scimitar or the Zetsuken, for those that play the Pixel Remaster Remix versions of this game. Snow Muffler, that's a really good defensive item, and also helps you against ice attacks. So that can be useful, especially on a frontline person.
Simply Azuma, I just saw your question in the chat. Yes, please kill him.
Huh?
He was asking me if I wanted my donations to go towards an incentive, and yes.
Oh, you're ruthless.
How much time do you got? How deep do you want me to go into this? Sid is not a good guy. That is
Yes, I understand that he was kind of doing the Manhattan Project of this game, and try to bring about a military an event of the end of the world.
Yeah,
Look at Kefka and Narsh. Yeah.
His research was just, causing war around the entire globe. But other than that, he seemed like a nice guy.
Sid's a bad guy for wearing a yellow raincoat indoors. Okay. Well, he just didn't open an umbrella because that would be bad luck.
Yeah,
Isn't bad luck.
What is?
Yeah.
Donations.
Oh,
Donations
nice.
are good luck. We have a $50 donation from Taco Mage saying, "Good luck, Fitz. Hopefully we'll not see a big troll at my nemesis, goddess statue. Donation goes to bringing a heinous war criminal to justice."
Beautiful.
I guess that went to kill Sid then.
Finally, somebody gets it. All right, good. Thank you, Taco Mage. I greatly appreciate it.
Of course, we don't have Yeti in the party, so we cannot continue to jump off the cliff there on the backside, which takes us to the Yeti cave. So we have to back out there.
I think you can actually jump off of it. You just can't go to the skull room or until Yeti's bedroom and then trigger the bit to bring him out.
Well, you can go in there, you just can't trigger it. So technically, you could get the monster in the chest that's in there.
Yeah, you can get the monster in the box. You can play with some switches if you want to. You can just make a mess in there and make Yamaru mad.
Which is obsolete, because we do have offerings anyways from the Coliseum, so we know where to get them. This is actually what we call Falling House. This is a save and check. Once you walk into this town and the whole light flashes thing goes on, you are committed to do this. This check is also nice to combo with the T-Zen Thief, which is the upper right-hand corner of the map. Oh, that's another $1.
That's another $5.
So he's got $15 now, I believe.
Oh, we're up to
donations.
5,000. We'll say.
Wow, that scaled up quickly. Boy, again, this is a save and check. It could be character Esper item here. Fitz is like, whoa there.
Alright, so how many more? I don't have Fitz's tracker up, but do you know how many more Espers he needs?
One. He needs one more Esper. He's at 7 and 8 right now.
So he's
So
got
if this is an Esper.
7 characters, 8 Espers, and 1 fixed dice.
Yeah.
Ooh, there it is.
Okay, fixed dice is interesting.
So as we said earlier, once Fitz reaches his, as we call it, go mode in Worlds Collide, he is now able to enter Kefka's tower and beat the game. This is the point in the run where Fitz has committed to going down to Solitary Island and giving the people what they want, and that is, putting Sid to the sword, if you will.
So we do have Kefka unlock, so we get it all done. So I guess the time limit was to get your donations and was the Kefka unlock. So we officially close on that, and what's the fate of him?
Do we have an actual update?
Well, it is very dead now, according to our host here.
Yeah. If I still have time, I will fix that, but I'll wait for an official word.
Okay, well, he says, Fitz says he wants to fight the dragon real quick. This is a common thing to do if you feel like you're a little low on scaling, you feel like you're not tough enough to get into the Kefka's Tower. You go over to the Opera House and World of Ruin. You flip the switch right here, which will put you right on stage in front of the Dargan that has taken over the Opera House, and it gets you some really great levels right before you go into Kefka. And is a White Dargan. White Dargan's cool in that he does a lot of front-end damage up front with a Scar Beam and some Pearl. However, after that initial bomb at the beginning, you can mute it, which pretty much makes it pretty ineffectual of doing anything else with the fight.
I do have breaking news. I thought I was going to have a dog swap, but I am sticking with Kiwi for now.
Okay.
They've had a change of heart.
Okay. Experience A, little late to the party here. We really want to see those beginning of the game because that boosts our experience gain for getting those levels very, very quickly. Really great on characters like Sabin, who has Blitz, or if you have a Blitz user, because it gives you the level 42, which gets you the ability to learn Bum Rush. But kind of late to the party, but any couple extra levels will be helpful for the Kefka fight. And here we go. I guess Fitz is waiting for the official word here on whether we're killing it or not.
Get the gallows ready, I guess. Let me look in the chat.
Where is it? It is kill Sid. 175 to 120. So goodbye, Sid.
The Schwartz 27 with a great question in the chat. How did Drinks Glue donate if he doesn't know his Venmo or PayPal password? Fantastic question. I have access to my wife's credit cards, so there you go.
Oh snap! Wait, was Sid not there?
He's there.
Okay.
So the way this works, you see that little fishy swimming around fast there? That is a healthy fish that will give in the little background, there's a little health meter. Well, not a meter, but a number for Sid. And if you feed him a healthy fish, that will increase that number. If you feed him a slow-moving fish, that will decrease the amount of life he has. And you just want to slowly wither him away so he feels the pain for what he did in the real world, and hopefully he feels further pain in the afterworld.
Yeah, and I believe it's coded in the game. A poisoned fish is the slow-moving fish.
Yep.
Now, luckily, in the recoded version of the game, you're not just stuck on the shoreline. You can actually walk out into the water. But when you get into situations like this, you're at the mercy of kind of like the logo on the screen where it kind of bumps into the corner or not.
Yeah, unfortunately, this isn't
Minecraft. I find that game right now.
This isn't Minecraft, so you can't craft a fishing rod to get that fish. You gotta wait for it to come ashore.
Come on, fishy. Here, fish, 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 fish. Hey, oh, there we go. Oh, okay, well, we got him anyway, so after 2 fish, apparently. Yeah, he talked to him a couple times, and finally realized that he's gone. And that's it.
Yeah.
Because we do cut out the cut scenes and like that, so you don't get to see... What's interesting about Final Fantasy VI as a game as a whole, it is very mature content once you actually think about it, because you have kids in peril, like the Falling House. You have, I guess you could say, a suicide scene with Celeste there at the beginning of the Worlds of Ruin if Sid dies. So there's a lot of crazy mature content that was in this game for the early 90s. It's kind of crazy.
So as I mentioned earlier, this is as a runner, in the back of my mind, this is where this would come into play. All those bosses that I fought. I'm thinking to myself, what is out there? And we did come across a Doom Gaze, so I took one of the chess pieces off the board. But there are still some ferocious bosses, and we have 4 more boss fights. And right now, our party is weak because we are divided. We're gonna have 1 person on the left and right, and 2 people going up the middle. And in Kefka's Tower, this is where a lot of runners can get stunted, or a door slammed in their face, if you will, because you have to 1v1 2 fights here. And if it's one of the tougher fights, it can really thwart a lot of runners. And so that's something to look out here for with Fitz as he pushes through.
By the way, I do want to mention $295 total for that bid war, whether or not save or kill Sid. That is going to the Canadian Cancer Society. So thank you all for that bid war. Okay.
And
Okay.
it's a little scary here, because each one of the little hide knights has a debilitating attack, and Confuse Claw is claimed many a runner in the past.
Yeah, we do have a Lumina with Pearl, so we get the Pearl procs here. Celeste could do a crap ton of damage.
Yeah, Haydn is weak to Pearl, and with that ignoring Magic Defense Pearl proc, it'll probably only take 2 of these to take him down. It's just getting those procs before you die.
Oh, and that's right. If we die, Hayden can claim you as a zombie. Oh!
And, oh yeah, zombies. Sometimes zombies play for your team. Sometimes they switch teams on you mid-turn.
Locke and Celeste, who are a couple in this game, I guess Locke's giving her the cold shoulder, literally. Yeah, there's that proc we're talking about. The quad 9 drop there on Hayden.
Nice.
This is like, phew!
Alright, so 1 statue boss down, 2 statue boss Guardian.
Didn't see that. Apparently Locke did have dice offering and he was in zombie mode. So he could have offering fixed dice Celeste to death there.
He could have, but instead he chose a very tame Ice Beam. That's
Babe,
off of him.
I could gamble your life away, but I'm just gonna give you the cold shoulder. Prepping for Final Kefka there, getting that golem ready to go.
So this is the middle party. The middle party will step through the store and get tackled by a giant robot, and then after that they will have a statue encounter themselves.
Yeah, the middle party, if you hit the switches with the right-hand party, and oh my goddess, a French vanilla goddess right here.
And this is one of the tougher bosses I kept mentioning because Goddess can get out of hand really fast. She has some high damage AoE spells and abilities that will target multiple party members, and has very serious potential to wipe them.
Strago, with I don't know how much speed he has, is trying to steal a Minerva off of Goddess, which will be a big help to Celeste. Pretty much making her pretty much unbeatable at this point. Not able to get it, unfortunately. He's going to be stuck with just an Excalibur.
And the good news is typically runners will put their strongest party member in the middle party because they have to fight 2 bosses when they enter the Kefka's Tower from this spot. So Fitz was in pretty good position there to take down a tough boss.
Taco, try having your realm get confused. You should cast a big blue pill in the entire party. That hurt.
And $20 now.
Another.
But that was mandatory. That is what we're.
That's a mandatory chest. Wow, back-to-back statues? Oh, lordy.
But this one is, even easier than the Boom is the tamest of the three
I
statue
mean,
bosses.
that Pearl Spear would not be a bad thing to throw here. Or we could just throw an Excalibur for Quad Knights, that's fine too, I guess. I wouldn't even take another action, I would just mimic that last throw. Oh, except we had Steel, so he doesn't get that off now.
He'll be alright. His Man-Eater and everything else he has to throw is going to suck him down pretty fast.
He's a man-eater. Well, there goes Drago. But that's the target you want to hit anyways.
Right, so that's statue boss number 2, and now we were just down to one more 1v1 fight for Fitz to make it into the final boss.
Yeah, we still got, I hate to jinx it, but we still have Magimaster out there, we still have Spicy Chicken out there. Inferno's technically still out there, Guardian's still out there.
I wouldn't be too worried about Inferno or Guardian here. I wouldn't.
No, I'm just trying to figure like the harder bosses, you know. Well, I mean, you're really high scaling there, Fitz. So those bosses are really going to be their full beefiness here. They're at full beefage? I don't know what to say. I mean, okay. Okay. Toilet Atma. French vanilla again. Now, when we say French vanilla in randomizers, that's a boss that's similarly in the area they're supposed to be in, just in a different spot.
Ooh, and Merton coming out.
Yep, that's that scaling from these Atma brothers here. I mean, the Atmas can cast, like you mentioned before, Ultima, Fallen One, you know, Merton, Goner, all like final boss abilities. So you gotta be very cautious with these fights. Senior Behemoth, same way. That's a second Merton, by the way.
That is a second Merton.
And the Mirthral Shield's the only shield that they have available to them, so it's kind of rough. Yeah, but you unfortunately just have to use Ice 3 here. Sorry for the on. Just kind of melting down slowly. Oh, Doggo! No, Doggo. Oh, God, quick! That's not good!
Oh, no! Does he have gig?
This could be... Yeah, ooh. YOLO. A Doggo with a block! Oh, Flare Star. No, that'll do it. That's a party wipe, fortunately, so we're going to have to go back and try the fight again.
And that's what we're talking about when your party is most vulnerable, because if he was full party, he had no problem whatsoever with that Atma. He would just throw a bunch of man-eaters to its face and be done with it. But when you're down to one character, it makes it a little harder to get through some of the bosses.
Now, unfortunately, I believe this is a flag on thing. Once you use Kefka skip once, you can't use it again. So if they wanted to reface this boss, you'd have to exit Kefka and run the entire Tower of Kefka again.
He would. That's a great heads-up play there by putting the Geiger on, because the Geiger will negate Quake, and the Force Shield will have all magic damage, because it gives you an automatic shell. So a little adjustment here, and I think he'll be able to get through this fight.
Fixed dice there for Sabin, so that'll help a little bit.
A little extra damage never hurts.
Yeah, but the damage on fixed dice is based on levels too. The higher levels you have, the higher chance you're gonna have for higher rolls. Level 25 is going to negate of those rolls a little bit.
Yeah. So for a level 25 character, the fixed dice damage is going to be under 2k average. Obviously, you can do more of that if you get good numbers like he just did
Like
on
that one. Prove us wrong.
On average, you could expect under
Oh,
2,000.
there's our average.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was average 2,000. I mean, we did 4,000, nothing, so. Proof of concept, people! And there's our Quake.
Ooh.
Just mentioned.
A little better equipped for it this time.
Yep, that's a heal.
Ooh, some nice
Man,
rolls.
these rolls.
So the downside is the fixed dice and Worlds Collide. Well, the pluses are one, it ignores defense. Two, the damage can get very high with some very lucky rolls. The downside is two parts. Is one that you don't always get those rolls when you need them. It would seem, and two, it does have a very long animation time to complete 4 rolls or even just 1 roll.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people. Sorry, go ahead.
So it's a great item to have like on your third or fourth character. You don't want it to be in your main source of damage because
Except for early game, if that's all you have.
yeah, if you can find something better, it's a great idea to get off of it. But if it's what you got, it's what you got. There's nothing wrong with that.
And a lot of people want to pair it with like Dragon Horn and Dragon Boots because that's a little bit faster animation. Yes, the jump might take longer, but at least the animation of actually hitting. Plus, it actually increases the damage of it because of the jump command. But the caveat to that is instead of having Offering, which always hits for 4 times, Jump might only hit 4 times. So you actually might get 2 less rolls. So it's a kind of a 50-50 catch-22 kind of thing.
So, do you guys have a second for a quick donation?
Right
wow,
before Kafka.
I am surprised.
You are surprised. Well, you shouldn't be because the donation is from you, Drinks Glue, for 10 USD, saying, "Hey Schwantz, aka Basic Brian, can you post the FF6 Worlds Collide website in the Discord?" Or wait, and Discord in the chat. Okay, gotcha. You may not be able to post it in the chat, but you can probably post it in the Discord for Stryzer stuff. I think the mod may auto block it. So, yeah.
Bad night bot, bad.
Well, the Basic Brian will figure it out.
Well, I mean, we can plug it at least verbally. That'll be ff6worldscollide.com/discord. You can join us on there, learn how to roll the seeds, talk to our administrative and all of our community members, which numbers in the over 1,000 now. So love the love there. And also you can roll the seeds and mix them up with some music and some color palettes and like that. And join in on some of our tournaments that we have going on. We have an Ultra Fleet coming up soon, which is our standard, I guess you could say, flag bearers, flag sets. And it's broken into 4 different tiers between beginner to expert levels. So you're not going to play against expert players, you're going to play against people that are pretty much around the same skill as you. And that is a 8-week-long tournament, and it's a league one. So it's 1 seed per week, top 6 times that you have within the 8-week session. Those are times that it gets calculated whether or not you move ahead, you go up in the league, or you stay the same or go down.
Yeah, very well said. And we have a Discord, we have a wiki, we have a bunch of fancy things. If you would like to join us, the simplest way to do so would be go to ff6worldscollide.com. Google it or just straight type it in, ff6worldscollide.com, and that's where you can find links to our Discord, wiki, and all the information you would need to get started. And we'd love to have you. Fitz is the one playing the seed right now. He's a fantastic trainer. He's always willing to offer advice or just help you get up and running. And there are dozens of other players in our thousand-size community that were willing to do the same.
Thank you for that. And we are in Kafka Part 1 here. This is a 3-part boss here. We got the head, the long arm, which is the arm closest to it with the hand open, and we got the short arm, which is the closed fist on the farthest side. Long arm, the closest one to us, is weak to that insta-kill, which is we saw that Doom. It's also weak to break. The head is actually weak to fire, traditionally. You want to focus really fire on that one. You want to get that down second, and then fist or the short arm last. If you leave the head up for last, it will cast Quake, and will pretty much end your entire run.
Yeah, in these different tiers of Final Kefka, there is an order of operations. As Sable mentioned, you want to kill that short arm last on this tier because the other two parts of this tier have some very nasty death counters that you don't want to eat, and one of them being Plague, that the head will pass upon death. It is the last one alive, and unless you are super overpowered, you're not going to survive that Quake.
No.
So we had mentioned scaling a number of times. In this flag set, and in most flag sets, the Final Kefka fight is not scaled based on your levels. It is based upon the vanilla game, and the tiers are in the level 70s. That is to keep the difficulty kind of a baseline throughout the different flag sets. If it was based off of your scaling, this fight would be way too easy with its setup right now. So typically, Final Kefka and the various stages are not adjusted by the scaling that you set for the flag, unless you choose to do so.
Perfect. This is part 2 of Kefka, which is tier 2. This is a 4-part boss here. We got Doom going out to that middle section there where that, I guess you can say the feminine being in that tools there. It's called tools. It is weak to Doom, not break. Has to be tools. It has to be Doom, rather. Also weak to bolt if you don't have any of that. The one in the back facing away from us is called Magic. Now, they're actually cast spells at your party throughout the whole time. Believe it or not, they're actually weak to mute. So if you mute them, they're out of it for the whole fight here. Bluey sitting on top of there, which is the one closest to our party there. That is also affectionately called hits. They basically just do physical damage punching, and if you kill them, which they'll just do 10 hits to the party. They're actually weak to stop, so you can actually cast stop on them, which will pretty much take them out of the fight for a considerable amount of it. And last but not least, on the bottom part there is called Tiger. They are extremely dangerous, like Tools is. They do a lot of damage, turn your party into zombies and other things. It is weak to actually ice, and you want to kill that first. So pretty much the order operations is Doom Tools in the middle, Mute Magic, have Stop on Blue if you want to, and then go after Tiger, kill Tiger, and then the rest of it's pretty much gravy.
Why do they call the middle part Tools?
It's called Tools because it is the combination of Kefka bridging magic and technology into one, and this is the madness of him trying to bring those two worlds into one being.
I always thought it was because it was like a tool.
No, I mean, well, that's also, if you notice in the artwork here, that there's a smokestack right below magic there. So again, this is the weaving of technology and magic into one thing. Because again, remember, he was a quote-unquote Magitech knight. So the whole concept of trying to bring magic into the world to be the god, quote-unquote, of magic, and also trying to work technology and bring those two together.
Very said, and looks like that should be it for tier 2. And
Yeah.
This is every runner's favorite tier, tier 3. Nothing ever goes wrong.
Oh, God. We do have Gollum.
So in tier 3, we have 2 parts. We have Lady and we have Sleep. Lady is going to be the angelic-looking part on the behind Sleep, and then Sleep is, just the guy up front. A good thing about Sleep is she only has 9,999 HP. The bad news is she absorbs every element in the game, so you have to do non-elemental damage to take her down. And you want to take her down first, because as you see, she'll cast Whirlwind, which will heal her back up and then heal the guy in front of her. Or if you take out Hit first, she will cast Life 2 and just go ahead and bring him on back. But,
Yep, so this... Yeah, so this... Sorry, well, actually, talk about what Sleep does.
Well, Sleep has 40,000 HP. It's not what Sleep does early that's important, because all he does is alternate between a single target attack and a physical target attack, a single target attack, and then a multi-target attack, which is very manageable. It's what he does at the end that is very problematic, because there are different phases that will enter as he enters different levels of his HP remaining. One of those is the Mito phase, where he will immediately cast Mito on your party when he enters that phase, and then 2, he will start casting Mito on every turn. Mito is a non-elemental magic attack that hurt, And then what he does at last upon a death counter is he will cast Con Mist, which you mentioned earlier. It's a single target instant death physical attack, but with Golem in hand, that was no problem whatsoever. It is blocked.
Yeah, and then one other thing though about a couple more things about sleep is so basically just remember the more damage you do to him, the more agitated he gets. And also it can be easily countered the calmness with Golem or also with Fenrir. We didn't see him, so I had to Google how. And that basically the whole scene was depicting him, Kefka, at sleep after he pretty much ruined the world. And last but not least, we have Kefka 4, Tier 4 Kefka, Kefka himself, ascending from the heavens to face our heroes.
Yeah, the final party Kefka has 60,000 HP. On his first turn, he will always cast Fallen 1 unless you switch him into Phase 2 and get him under 30,000 HP, which is what triggers Phase 2.
Funny enough, is weak to Maneater, actually.
Yeah, there is still some humanity left inside of him, so Maneater will take effect.
Yeah, funny enough, he is a human, so he's actually weak to poison, but he's also immune to poison. That's actually listed on his bestiary, so figure that out. So Kefka, much similar to Sleep, is the more damage you do, the more agitated he gets, and does other effects. And like right now, he goes into his charge up stage, which is the Goner ability, and you actually are able to just dump damage on him. You won't be able to counter with like things like Ultima and or Havoc Wing and stuff. And you pretty much just try to bum rush kill him from here. Usually you use breakable shields, which kind of ignore the magic damage and do the level 3 magic. But we didn't get all off. Here comes Goner out. Excuse me. The more people you have in the party, the less damage it will do, because it does spread the damage out among the entire party. So this shouldn't kill everybody. Okay, no, about half damage.
So Kefka will counterattack with various nasty attacks depending on the phase he is in. And right now he should be in Phase 3, which will trigger an Ultima counter if it's attacks and it doesn't take him down. And Ultima, if you didn't know, is very broken in this game for your
Or
party.
he could just do it anyways, without even being procted.
It's also even more broken for Kefka, because it can easily do over 4,000 damage on your party.
Yeah, so Havoc Wing and Hyperdrive, those are things you really don't want to see, especially when you're got one or two party members down, because you can chain them just like that and just wipe out your whole party with just punching them to death. Well, you should be going back into the Goner charge up here. There it is.
Yeah, and he should die here just very shortly.
Yep, so we're back into easy mode, just dumping damage, and I think that was it. Just one more hit there. Yep, bang, kabow!
And fantastic news, the Astros won 8-5, and Fitz is going to finish with a time of 142...
143.02.
143.02.
At least that's what the timer was when they first started the first flash.
Yeah, we were a couple seconds slow on our timer here on this end, but yeah, it does look to be a 143.04.
Beautiful. So 143, even on a standard flag set such, that's pretty much the average time you will probably do when you get a pretty good amount of experience playing the game. Around 145 is a good average time for these kind of runs.
Well, you gotta remember too. Fitz, stopped and did a little dance and shebang for us.
Yeah, true. He did a couple of stops, one in the Opera House, one of the. But again, that was kind of made up with the fact that he had a turbo run on.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if you take the turbo run into account, it kind of balanced out in the end.
And he also had to put down a war criminal.
Hmm. So by the way.
Very interesting.
So Terra was older Rita, and so Rome was Pollum.
No.
Or Porum, one of the two. That's what she was on screen. It just saw her.
Yeah, no, I saw. So I guess.
Oh, and Gal was Porum. One was Porum, one was Pollum. Okay, that makes sense.
Paladin Cecil had to be Negger.
Yep.
I called it.
Well, okay.
Uh,
Well, of
Fitz?
course, because Locke was Sid. That makes sense. Then, yeah.
Yeah. So estimated runtime was gonna be around 2 hours. We still got 16 minutes. So Sable, if you want to sing for 16 minutes.
No, it's not Saturday.
Fitz, are you gonna join us for an interview for your heroics?
Yeah, I'll join in for an interview real quick.
Very well done, my dog. 143.04. Unofficial. We'll get our replay review booth. Take a look at that and get the exact time for it. But how are you feeling? What was your strategy with supermarket sweeps?
The early going is a little bit tough. With the scaling and the 2-character start, slot was all right, but I'm not the best at it. But it got the job done to get me a couple of early grinds. I didn't really find anything great running around. Did I check the Coliseum? There's a couple of things that were okay out of there, but no big ticket offense. But as soon as I had a thrower and go-go, I was like, all right, well. And then
Nope, Paladin. Sorry, Paladin Cecil is actually Cyan.
I
As
don't
you see
believe
right
that
there on
for a
screen.
I don't believe that for a second.
he's the swordsman. Who else would be swinging the biggest swords? And he
So
has,
then Kane is Edgar.
he has a
yeah.
kind of a redemption arc or whatever. Yeah, Edgar is
Oh,
Edward.
so Edgar was Edward.
These are obviously my interpretations. Not all of them fit perfectly. I thought about Locke for Edward for a bit too. I think it could go either way in terms of just, I guess, personality more than ability.
And Rachel leaves him, and then Anna leaves Edward, so it fits.
Wow. That got dark quick.
And there was a bit I thought that I was going to do Sid for Cyan, but Sid is an engineer and actually loves machines, so I felt like that one was like a weird one because they're kind of older dudes.
Yeah.
It would have just been on old dude vibes alone. But no, yeah, I wanted to show off kind of all the stuff. I routed this differently than I would in like a competitive race because I went to a lot of the longer checks overall because why not? And I did get all those rods out of, well, that was out of the backup. The encounters that were actually not that great in Burning House. I did a lot of running, but yeah, I had a good time, and you guys were definitely cracking me up on commentary as I was listening in. So I appreciate keeping me company and getting a chance to show off the game for a good cause.
Yeah, absolutely, it's our pleasure. Chad, if you have any questions for onefreefitz, throw them out there. While we got them with us, I have one personal question, Fitz. I don't think I've asked you this before, but what's your favorite flavor of cheesecake?
I'm a big raspberry cheesecake fan, I guess. Marble it in
Really?
there or drizzle it on. More probably of a drizzle on top of just, a classic
I'll have to give that a try.
Rago style.
You know, it's me.
I'll get it. I can't ask everybody all at once. I went to Cheesecake Factory last week, and now I have a new obsession and almost borderline addiction, to be honest.
Oh God.
But I'll get to you. I'll get around to you.
Okay.
Just not
There will be
tonight.
many times for cheesecake.
Waiting for tonight. Sorry. There he is. You wanted me to sing, so there you go.
Beautiful.
That was an awesome run. On a different note, we do have a donation from onefreefitz, and did you want to put that towards any incentive?
Oh, I should. Yeah, definitely. Let me get that pulled up real quick.
I figured while we have you, may as well get that assigned to something.
Is that the 20?
It is indeed a $20 donation.
Let's see
Oh, yeah,
what's
you can
coming
put
up
that in there.
here. What's close here? I feel like we're gonna need to put that towards the gravity circuit upgrade to
Perfect.
minimalist.
I will toss that on there right now. And with that, our evening has come to a close. So we will be back tomorrow with more runs. So make sure to check out that schedule, everyone. And thank you very much, Fitz, Drinks Glue, and Saberwolf for the awesome play and commentary.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having us. Again, you
Yeah.
guys are doing a great cause over here, Canadian Cancer Society. I love doing it when I was part of Guild Wars 1, and I'm glad to be back and helping out with the Canadian Cancer Society again doing this, so appreciate it.
Awesome. Always love the support. So as I mentioned, come back tomorrow for some more great runs, and we'll see everybody later.